Now, the Netherlands wanted to make it what they call a basic ordinance for the 3 islands. So we had quite some discussions about it, but at the end, it is almost what we had already in Station with some changes, but minor changes. And we started already here with inspection because we are the only island of the 3. We have inspectors, we have 2 inspectors, and at the beginning of this year they started already inspecting the centers, not in a negative way, but just to give them a report, a detailed report. Where are you? What is missing? Maybe you have to do some repair the building. They were checking, is your personnel educated? So not what are we going to do? How is the hygiene? How do you deal with the parents? So all the aspects they check, and then they give the centers a list. Okay, this is what you have to work on, and then we give you a certain time. That is the ordinance. Then we work also with the management, so with the boards and the managers of the centers.
Okay. Currently, there are a platform of after-school programs. What are the main issues the platform is working on at the moment? Oh. And what are the priorities?
Okay, we realized if we work together, you are much stronger. And that is where we started the 4 organizations, the Busy Bees, because they have also after-school program, Daughters of the King, Megadi, and A+. A+ is the organization who gives homework guidance to the students from the GVP, mostly from the GVP. And we said we have to sit together to see what are our needs. For example, we started working, we said, okay, the buildings they are in now, exception the Busy Bees, they are not really made to work with children. So the quality of the buildings is not what it should be. So we started making a plan. And first they told us, yeah, but there is no money for that. But they said, we have to push it. And we made an terms of reference and a program for what are the needs, but then we want to do that together. So one building with the identity of each organization still, but that you have one building. And at the end, in June, we got approval in the sense, go ahead. So as a matter of fact, we had meetings now. They decided that we can make use for technical input from Siem Dijkshoorn here on the island. So then we are not depending on persons coming in from The Hague to give us the technical advice. So we are busy now to making the plan and then give it to organizing the platform, no, not to the platform, to the working group, and then see if we get approval, and then we can start building. Okay, that's for the future.
Oh, what is the difference between after school and out of school program?
Okay, we always called it after school. However, it is the idea that during the school vacations, there are also programs. So it is not only the after school hours, because parents also need, not all parents have the school vacations.
Yeah.
So they have to work. And for the children, there has to be a safe place to be. So that's why we call it out of school. So it is not only after, also during the vacations.
Okay, yeah. That is clear. I would like to zero in on the Busy Bees Daycare Center. What are some of the plans for the improvement within this organization? How will this benefit management, staff, and the youth that makes use of this organization?
Okay, as you all know, Busy Bees exists, I think, about 25 years. Yeah. And it was built that time as the best daycare center, even in the whole region. We had here workshops with people from everywhere. However, at a certain moment, you see the funds are lacking. You cannot do everything to keep up the building. So that is where now we started. For example, there is a need for extension of the baby room. So we're getting the funds from Holland from the Best for Kids program to do that. We are waiting a little bit now on the from domeinbeheer for the, not domeinbeheer, for the bouwvergunning. So we are busy with that, but anyway, that will happen. And we started already also with some work on the bathrooms, and we have now a plan to do all the repair that is necessary. That is the building. On the other hand, we started with a training course, an official recognized one. Before, as I mentioned in the beginning, we had LBO, now we have CVQ. And 8 of the persons who don't have a diploma at Busy Bees, they are now on the course. That is a course organized by GVP. So that's how we could make it an officially recognized course. And they started in February with this course. And there are also some students from GVP self on that course. So within 2 years, they will be finished. Then we are working a lot with the board also to really reorganize. We started working because we saw, because of lack of funds, the salaries were not always up to par, let me say it. And then from the working group, they wanted to work on salaries equal for all the 3 islands. However, that takes quite some time. And then we said for Statia, we are going to push that we can do at least a little bit to give them a little bit more based on their diplomas they have, for those who have diplomas, and their experience, because we have persons working at Busy Bees like for 25 years.
Yeah.
So that it is a small step, but we could do that this year. And then we hope for next year that we have then the right skills for all those who work like level 2, level 3, level 4, based on that the same payment is for Seba Station Bonaire. And so that will be the next step. So we are taking steps for that. And we have management training that is for the whole platform, so Busy Bees and the others. Like when we start training them, how do you do the evaluation of your personnel, because that's also important, and how to deal with conflict. So we have a whole program where we make them also more professional to deal with all the aspects we are dealing with. So it is a challenge for all of them. It's a lot of innovations coming. On the other hand, they see also the impact. We could buy, for example, materials already, educational materials for Busy Bees. And I'm going a little bit too far. We have this high scope training also where they went, but later on I come back with that.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you a question pertaining to that.
Okay.
But what I wanted to also ask you, how much is taking part in the training for the teacher for the Busy Bees?
8 persons.
8 of them.
Yeah, but then still we are making up a program for all. Also those who work there, who have the right qualification. However, for quite some time they did not get training. So we are busy working on that part also, that all of them are involved in one or another training.
Okay. So I visited, I had the privilege of visiting the Busy Bees Daycare Center recently, and saw that they use the high school program. What is this program about? What is this program about? Will it be used in other daycare centers for children on St. Eustatius?
Okay, yes, this is a program. It was developed in Michigan, in the United States, and they use it also in the Caribbean region. And as a matter of fact, to go back a little bit in history, just before the Antilles, the former Antilles solved into the different islands, we started with it for all the islands. So we did training. We had a person from Statia on the training. She is a qualified high scope trainer, and the program entails, it is a quite strict curriculum for the children, where you base that program on the development of the child, and where you put in as much as possible via playing, that they can learn. So, for example, they have what we call a scientific center, and it sounds big, However, it is if children play with water and sand, then they learn the basic from what is big, what weight more than this, what is higher, what is smaller. So they get a lot of reading, also reading like storytelling, and also it is programmed. The children know when we do this, after that comes this, and it is a perfect transition for those who have to go after that to primary school, that it fits with the curriculum we have in the primary schools. So then the children are really very well prepared for a primary education. And we had now from this program 2 persons from Statia, one from the Daughters of the King and one from the Busy Bees, who went for a month-long training in Michigan. And so they are ready now to train the other centers on the island also. So that was your question, the other centers also. And even they could make use of them in Saba also. And then they have to go back one more time, twice, to Michigan to further their studies, but they are able already to do the training here.
Okay. You mentioned about the Megadi, like under the Best for Kids umbrella, several of the outer school programs, Megadi Youth Foundation, Daughters of the King, and the Busy Bees Daycare Center, have recently agreed, as you mentioned, to share a common building. Please explain how this will be dealt with and what are the benefits of these organizations being housed together in one main building.
Okay, that is what I started to explain,
Yes,
where
you
we
did.
had these plans.
Yes.
And it will take some time. However, the good thing for it is we have the children there. For example, we want to have a big space, we call it an auditorium, where all can make use of it, like if they have to do performances, because we don't have that. And then you can use it in between also for other activities, but then you have with a stage where you can really teach the children how to do that, the creative aspect, dance, but also maybe exhibition of their handicraft, music. So we will have to share places. For example, we want to share a kitchen that you can cook for all the organization, but then next to that they have their own place where the children can do their homework, where they can do their other activities. And besides that, not all activities will take place there, because, for example, they can go to sports, then they go out there. So the good thing is that you don't have every organization with that makes it also very expensive, with an auditorium, with this and with that, but then you have it in one place, but still with their own identity.
Okay, that sounds good. Do you already have a location, or is it too early to say?
We are looking around, and we don't have. We wanted to have one location, but we still have to get approval of that.
Okay. You talked about a common building where all these outer school programs will be housed. What is the plan for building, or when can the community begin to see the actual construction thereof?
Okay, that is when we have our plan ready to send it in for approval. Then the design has to start.
Okay.
And then maybe it could be 1.5 years, it could be more, but it depends also. The sooner we get approval, and we want that because if there's money available, we want to make use of it as soon as possible, because you don't know what happens later.
Sure. We talked mainly about the Busy Bees Daycare Center. What are the plans for equipping, preparing and training the boards, management and youth leaders? I did hear you mention that as well, of the remaining organization for the task before them.
Okay, we are busy now preparing together with GVP, a course like we have the one now for those who work with the young children, a youth leaders course. And we are very busy with that. We did already intake for those who work at the out-of-school programs and who don't have the right qualification. And we are dealing, because we have to go to the CXC within the region to get approval, but we have a complete program already. And if everything goes as we want to start in January with that new course at the GVP. Later we will put it out also if there are persons in the community who are interested in such a course and maybe see a future in working with youth, then we want to do some, we want to make it possible for them also to take part.
Very good.
Yeah.
That's very good. For any program of this nature to be successful, parental involvement is crucial. How does platform plan to involve parents?
Okay, one of the first steps is I don't know if you heard about the conscious discipline program.
No.
In the schools here they started with it, and it is organized by Aruba. However, it is a program, it is originally an English program, and they invited Stacia also for a week-long training for representatives from our organization in November in Aruba. And that apparently is a very good program for parents to deal with parents and how they can deal with their children. So that is the first step we are going to take. However, there will be continuous programs for parents, and what we in the near future want to do is give parents also information about this Best for Kids program. Because, and this radio program is also a step already, because we want to explain also to the parents what does it mean that we have an ordinance, that we have inspection, what is the pedagogical program in your daycare, what can you expect from the program, so that they also have more dialogue with the center, what can you expect, but also what can the center expect from you. That is really something we have to be very serious about. I understood from Carol that they are busy getting a pedagogue to be on the island, to be like give the input on all those programs. So I think that would be an important step, that parents also know a place without, you don't have to have a problem to ask advice. Because most of the times it is when there is a problem with your child, you ask advice.
Yes.
But you can better ask from, because we don't know everything. And you want to talk with someone who maybe has more experience or has the knowledge, and then talk with them. So we are busy working on that.
Okay, that sounds great. Do you have any final information you would like to share with the radio listeners?
Okay, I would like to share that what I realize when Carol and myself are participating in these working groups and in all these discussions. For example, we were a week in Holland last week, that Stacia was quite far already in this.
Okay.
And like what I mentioned, we have already an ordinance. We had our daycare center. Yes, it wasn't up to par anymore, but so a lot was developed already. It came a little bit down because of lack of money, lack of interest maybe. And so I would really like to thank also all those who work in the daycare, in the out-of-school programs, for their passion for this work, because in the beginning there was no money at all. It was voluntary work, and then they started getting subsidy. The Busy Bees got subsidy from government, not enough, it is never enough. The other organizations out of school, they got finance from Holland. That also goes now via the Best for Kids. So I really want to thank all those who are involved, and also those from the island government, the representatives, how really like Carol always pushing to get through to all of this. And yes, and you will see the results.
Okay. That sounds so wonderful. Well, it's, you know what is nice to know is that we are ahead. Like you're saying that you already started with the ordinance way before the other islands. So Stacia is ahead of all of this, and it would be great to see the end result
Yeah, and that you're going to see it already, like the salaries became a little bit better. We started with the courses, so it goes step by step that you see, hey, something is happening.
Yeah, I hope I hear you said this. You hope the salary will be a little better. Well, I hope it will be much much better because I know and yeah, the people on station know that the teachers at the Busy Bees really do not get a good salary. And I really, really hope that you all, I mean, you all are doing a wonderful job, that you will continue making sure that they get a much, much better salaries because they, as you mentioned just now, they are faithful.
Mm-hmm.
They are faithful and doing whatever they have to do. And you can see it. It's there. So, you know, it would be a motivation to give them something good. Let them know that, listen, we are seeing that you all are doing your best, and that here we are fighting for you all to get a better salary.
Because we had persons who started working for $150, $200
Yes.
at the beginning. And yes, now it is a little bit more. However, so I agree, but I'm always careful that it doesn't sound like a promise.
Yes,
because
you
we
are
have
correct.
to fight for the money.
Yes.
And that we are doing, for sure.
Okay, well, that is good because with what you just tell me, with all that you explained, you all are doing a good job, and I want to congratulate you all and wish and ask God that to guide you all to get exactly, to do the things the way how you should, to get exactly what you need in order to reach to the end of this wonderful job that you all are doing.
Okay, thank you.
Radio listeners, we have come to the end of another edition of Shedding Light. I would like to thank my guest, Angela Decker, for explaining about the Best for Kids program. In the future, we will ask you to come to the radio to communicate with your progress of this program.
Okay.
Radio listeners, thank you for listening. Until the next time, I am Mercedes Lopes Spanner.